And 2026, we're gonna be in the mix.
Absolutely.
Yes, we gonna make it right. We're gonna make it happen. Before we begin today's show, we're gonna introduce our guest co-host today, Mr. Dion Westbrook.
What's up? What's up? Thank you again for the opportunity once more to be here on the show with you guys, talking about some good stuff and how we're gonna set ourselves up for 2026. 2026.
There you go. And if you're wondering what happened to the third person, they're walking in right now. First I want to say this: in 2026, as Black folks, we got to do better. Okay? Starting with me. starting with me. But since he walked in, we're going to have our guest co-host, our co-host, Clinton, introduce himself.
Yes, this is Clinton James, just walking in the building. Yes, sorry for being late, y'all, but at the same time too, it's Let's Talk About It Tuesday. I was introducing myself as y'all, where y'all can find me. Y'all can find me in the corner of working on myself, lean and inspiring others, drive. Let's go. It's going to be 2026 pretty soon, so let's get ready. Let's get ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So today, before the new year begins, we want to have a discussion amongst the group about passion. And why? Because passion a lot of times is what drives you. Passion is what keeps you up late at night, focusing and working on something. It's what wakes you up early, continue doing what you're doing. Passion is that thing that gives you the energy, the vitality that you need to do to accomplish a goal. Whether that's something you do at work, something you do with your family, whether that's something you do to stay in shape, whether that's something you do just to have fun. Passion has to be a part of our lives. In the Bible, it says, whatever thy hand finds to do, do with all that might. And the reason why most people are able to do things with all their might is because they have a passion for what they do. Can you imagine waking up every single day doing something you're passionate about?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or helping a group that you're passionate about?
Absolutely.
Or working for an organization that you're passionate about?
Absolutely.
Or can you imagine yourself doing the opposite every day, doing something that you're not passionate about?
Preach.
Or working for someone that you can't stand, being in relationships with someone that you're not passionate about. Mm-hmm. That's another story for another day, another topic. But we're going to talk about, in 2026, we want you to come up and understand what your passion is. Now, they don't teach this in school. Have they ever asked you in school what you're passionate about?
No.
No, they've asked, what do you want to be when you grow up?
What you want to be when you grow up?
What you want to be when you grow up?
Where you see yourself being in 10 years, 20 years, you know?
But they never ask you, what do you find yourself getting lost into doing?
Right.
Hours and hours can go by, and it feels like 10 minutes.
Right.
Where if you do something you hate doing, 10 minutes can go by, and it feel like it took hours to get it done.
Absolutely.
So, we're going to talk about why passion is important, and we're going to talk about how you can find your passion, okay? So, you fellas, y'all ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Ready.
All right, so the first question we want to ask is, what activities make you feel most energized rather than exhausted? So you should notice what fuels you and not just what you enjoy. I'll give you an example. Growing up, I love playing basketball. In fact, I would take my basketball everywhere with me to the point where people say, that's your baby. you carry around your baby. And my basketball had I used it so much the leather was ripping off. And it was just, you ever seen the inside of what the basketball looks like? If you haven't, I did, because that's what it looked like. I took it everywhere with me.
That was your baby.
So that was my baby.
Like your binky, huh?
Like my pinky. But I was trying to go look for pickup games. I was trying to ask my friends, hey, let's play basketball. They was like, no, I'm tired of playing basketball. All that different type of stuff. And so, asking you fellas, growing up, what was the thing that you were passionate about? What got your energy?
That's a good question. Growing up as a young kid, what I was passionate about, I mean, just keep in mind, we grew up in the '90s, man. So I mean, like in
Yeah,
the
it's
'80s, it was
We actually went
different.
outside.
But I mean, just
was
being
one thing.
outside was passionate.
Yeah, that was different
We were
already.
latchkey kids, but yeah, I was passionate about just number one is kind of like I always wanted to be a pilot. So I mean, I used to collect model planes and magazines and all that stuff about being like all the fighter jets, and that was my passion. I used to have Lego sets. I used to build planes and all this stuff. So that was kind of like what I was passionate about. Is like always like being fascinated by airplanes, you know. And that was a passion. I never saw it as work because every Christmas I'll ask, hey, give me this model Lego set with a plane on it. Anything with a plane on it, yeah, that's Clinton's gift. He'll love it. So I had like jerseys with planes on it, all that stuff. You know, growing up as a little kid.
Jerseys.
Yeah, like T-shirts, you know, with planes on it. Come on, jersey, T-shirt, you know what I'm saying?
I don't want no Magic Johnson jersey.
So I look like
Give me the one with the plane on it.
You know, like things like that. So I mean, for me, it's just about planes. You know, like that was my passion. If I believe this, if I still have it in me a little bit because most of my YouTube algorithm is all about I watch planes, and I think that's kind of like how to put it, like a thing of mine's where I mean I look at everything that has to do with planes taking off, landing, all that stuff. I mean I believe I mean I could fly a plane by now if I could if I was given the opportunity to, because I understand the mechanics of it. Yeah. But at the same time too, I never executed on that passion, right? But I think it's something where I know sooner or later that's something that I wrote I'll be heading down. Maybe when I retire, I'll be a pilot, you know, but I'll never give up on it. And that's what passion is for me. Is like when you look at your passion, doesn't matter what time or area in your life, you always go back to something like that. You want to fulfill it, you know. So it's never going to seem like, oh, I want to work doing it. It's something that you just feel like it's part of you or something that you want to do. You know?
Yeah, I think for me, growing up when I was a young pup, my passions was definitely sports. So football, baseball. I played basketball for fun, you know what I mean? So I didn't have the basketball like you, but definitely football mainly and baseball, and then games. So, you know, I was a gamer, so playing video games and stuff like that. So those are the things I pretty much cared about the most when I was young.
Was it
you know
Nintendo, Sega,
All
Atari,
of the systems.
PlayStation?
I had Nintendo, Atari, Genesis, Coleco.
He went back.
We had all those cool ones.
I never played ColecoVision.
So, you know, we had everything. So, yeah, no, those are like probably like my biggest passions. Always, you know, just love playing games. But again, like I said, we found time to get outside too, though. You know what I mean? And, you know, they don't do that much these days.
Nah, they don't,
You know,
man.
it's all social media.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is the things that we were passionate about when we were young as kids tend to be the same things we were passionate about to this day.
Yeah.
We may not fulfill those in careers, but we use it as a way of escape or use it as a way to decompress.
Yeah.
You know, from
music.
Like,
that was another one for me.
Music.
There you go.
Listen. Maybe this is TMI. I'm not going to tell it. I'm like, that weirdo. I don't care. We're going to talk about passions today. I was the biggest Michael Jackson fan. Y'all know that.
Oh yeah, we know.
Yeah, definitely.
We know.
We all know that.
We do know.
and talk about why passion becomes important, because I think it related to who I am today. Because I was such a big Michael Jackson fan, I used to listen to his Dangerous tape, and I would perform the whole album by myself. I'll be in front of the mirror by myself. And that gave me confidence to do talent shows and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I say it to say that I can get up in front of a huge crowd and do speaking engagement or whatever and feel not nervous at all.
Yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do with just getting in front of people when I was a young age, just doing something I was passionate about.
Yeah.
I think had I not done that, I would have been, you know, shy of a big crowd.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, which even I believe led to this passion of doing this show, of getting in front of an audience and, you know, having no fear of speaking in front of a lot of people. So sometimes your passion can help guide you into maybe not as a performer, but maybe doing something where you're in front of people that can create influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we think about what makes you alive, it's not just what keeps you busy, and not just what pays your bill. What makes you say is, I could do this all day. I could do this all day long, and I'll be in total bliss. Next thing you want to ask is, what problems get under your skin in a good way? Like, what's out there that you see as a problem that you just want to see how you can resolve it? Like what's the main thing you can complain about that you want to help fix? I think all three of us, we connected because we have a passion for the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And our passion is, how do we help the black community get better?
Yeah.
And we do it mainly through real estate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Clinton helps you find a home. Deion helps you find the money to get the home. You know, now I do is help people who are in that situation of don't know on how to get the home, or they want to get home and don't know what steps to take. I'm there to help guide them to direct people like Clinton and Deion. But mainly, I'm passionate about helping people of color because I've seen the numbers. Is it still under 50% of black people own
under
homes?
50%. Yep.
Is it still, we have the lowest GDP, meaning we don't own enough businesses?
Right. We don't own enough businesses. I mean, we don't. Now, one of the things the data came out, the Sheba report, which is called State of Housing in Black America for 2025. And it showed, yes, we dropped a little bit in terms of home ownership in our black community. We went up in applications, but at the same time, we dropped in terms of people actually owning homes. Now, there's a lot of things that play into that. Number one, we look at when you break down the data, it shows, number one, the economy plays into that too. Mm-hmm. The income plays into that. The rates play into that too, and also the prices of homes that went up, right? We've seen that our income, the average income in our community, is not on par with the average cost of living in most areas. So we're still earning the lowest. Now, that isn't one of the things that I think, because when we look at the problems, I was like looking at solutions. One of the things that we have to realize in our community, that, and especially with the recent advocacy by what's Jamal Johnson, where we actually boycotted Target, we saw it did make an impact on our voices being heard. Because one thing we tend to forget is that in our community we have the largest, we have a huge spending power.
Well, thanks for making my point, because the topic wasn't even about black passion, and you went right into it.
Right.
So, I mean, that just
Right.
proves
And
that you can talk about this all day.
all day long, because it makes me comfortable. Sometimes I go on a tangent because I'm passionate about it. Right. So.
And ladies and gentlemen, I can't even tell you how many arguments the three of us have got into.
Right. Because
we want to talk about what's best for the black community.
I'm passionate.
That's a show in itself.
It'd be
right.
30 degrees outside.
Don't start.
We'd be outside talking for 2 hours. Just
start
arguing
revving
about
that engine and start going, man.
So, but that just proves my point. It just rolls off your tongue.
Yeah.
I mean, those numbers and you know the group and the certain demographics that you're passionate about just comes off.
Right.
Which is even why you even have a realtor's beanie on your head.
Realtist, man. Realtist.
What I said?
Realty. You said realtist.
See,
realtist.
He's correct.
You've been going too long, man. Come back. Come
Yeah,
back.
exactly. We need you back. I got my beanie in the car, actually.
See how they talk about it, brother? Realtist.
Realtist.
Okay. All right, Mr. Realtist, the president, El Presidente of California Associated Real Estate Brokers. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, you
All
did.
right.
You did.
All right. But you got to be passionate about doing something like that. To be the president of a statewide organization that helps black people to become homeowners.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to be.
And so that proves my point. Is you have to go out there and see what the problem is, and whatever you're passionate about, trying to help find solutions for that.
Right.
Because you're using your free time to do this.
It's true.
You're not saying this, I'm trying to do this to make more money.
True.
You're not saying I'm trying to do this to get more notoriety or fame or recognition. But I'm doing this because there's a need out there that needs to be field. There's a gap out there with information that a lot of black people just don't have or aren't utilizing to see how we can help solve that problem.
Right.
I mean, it's almost, we talk about it like, what, 60% of the time we're having a conversation. 70% of the time we're talking about something like this.
Right.
So the question is what problem that you see out there that you want to solve? You know, maybe you want to help people be the best version of themselves because there was a point in time where you weren't. You know, maybe your passion is, you know, creating an opportunity where people can become successful.
Right.
You know, whatever problem it is that you see that you're passionate about. And usually, I think it has a lot to do with something that you can relate to yourself. A problem that you have personally dealt with and you overcame it, and now you're trying to help people realize the same
Right.
issues or overcome those barriers to help them get there.
Yep.
I mean, just today, I'm helping a guy for 2 hours. I'm sitting him for 2 hours to help him keep his home because he made some horrible financial decisions.
Right.
And I'm sitting there for 2 hours, but the 2 hours felt like it was gone. It went by for like 45 minutes or 30 minutes because I was so passionate about it. We were supposed to sit down for an hour. He was like, "Oh, man, thank you so much. I couldn't have done this without you." If I wasn't passionate about that, I'd be like, "Okay, man, here's a number. You know, on to the next
Good luck.
client." Yeah, good luck.
Right.
Good luck with that.
Yeah,
Right.
but you have to do what you're passionate about.
Right.
Yeah.
Another thing you want to ask is, what do people always call you about? Advice, help, connections, leadership. If folks keep calling you about something, that could be something that could be a hidden skill, a hidden talent
Right.
that people keep calling you about. And what do people keep calling you about? Making money? Getting money?
Get money.
Singing a song?
No, I definitely, like you said, helping people. 'Cause I think that was one more thing. You know, when I was younger, I always been the type of person to help people. Like, for whatever reason, everything I did always led to me being in a position where I'm helping somebody with something. But ultimately, career path-wise, it was helping people to, you know, create wealth. You know, whether it be through home ownership, but not just getting financing by home, but learning about credit, learning about financial literacy, all these different things. So, those are things that I'm definitely most passionate about, is figuring out how I can help people change their lives at the end of the day, which is the bottom line of it all. But people always hit me up for that. You know, they hit me up asking me questions about how can they do something, you know, whether it be a scenario they have or, you know, an issue they have with trying to get finance for my house, or somebody's about to lose their house. You know, what can I do to save my house? You know, or other loan officers hit me up about situations they have or how they can figure out a way to help someone else at the end of the day.
Speaking of that, real quick,
Go ahead.
you two have both been in real estate for over 20 years.
Yep.
What's the difference between, just in your field, that you can see someone who's passionate about doing loans or helping people find homes? Do you see the difference between people who are passionate and not passionate?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can,
What's the
you can
difference
definitely-
that you see?
Part-time, they don't take it
Yeah,
seriously.
you can recognize it. I mean, I think one of the things is that we are our biggest obstacle when it comes to that. You know, because at the same time we stand in front of ourselves. Because I believe if you're going after something, you got to go after it 100%. But then there's that level of fear that comes in. Hey, you know, what if? Oh, if I don't, or if what happens, and all the stuff, and the uncertainty, right? And then that's a life. I mean, somebody told me it's like this. Every day you get up, you're one day closer to the end of your life, right? So
Right.
what are you going to do with the time you have, right? So that's the question we always got to be asking ourselves. What are you going to do with the rest of the time that you have? Because one day, every day, you're getting closer to the end of your life, right? It's like you're blessed with more time, but that time is already going, right? So you are getting closer and closer to the end of your life. So you have to understand what are you going to do with the time you have left? Are you going to be? If you're not passionate about what you're doing, right, or you're not going after your goals, or you're not setting goals to go after, are you really using that time to really wisely to get to the end of your goal, or to go after your goal? Because it's rather die on the battlefield than die on the sidelines, right? I mean, at least you're fighting towards what you get. You always get the question is, what if you go after it and you fail? Well, you learn something new. You know, one of the things about it is that you always have the ability to reinvent yourself, right?
Right.
You always, I mean, it doesn't matter what stage you're in life, you have that opportunity to reinvent yourself. I mean, so we always stand out in our own way. One of the things I always go back to is this verse chapter in the Bible. It says 2 Timothy 1:7. It says, "For God has given you us the spirit of not of fear. It's not giving us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind."
Amen.
Right. So yeah, there you go. There you go. So once we understand that God's in control of everything that we do. Go after your goal. Go after your dream. Put it in God's hands, and then go after it. Set a direction and go after it. If Christopher Columbus can get lost and say he discovered the world, think about it. You can get lost and discover whatever. It's like at the end of the day, he's no different from anybody else. But at the same time too, your truth lies in the steps you make every single day. So go after your passion. Go after your purpose. Go after what you're passionate about. And that's where you'll see is at the end of the day you'll realize that the ones that are surviving right now, I would say the ones that are in this right now, because for the past couple of years we've seen a drop. People are going part time. Some people are because it's not easy right now, right?
Yeah.
But the people who have gone through it, we don't have the 2% rates anymore, right? The way it was easy,
Definitely. Definitely.
But I mean, so now it's where you have to set a plan. You have to have a plan of action. You got to work the plan, and you guys got to keep on moving because not every time you'll find success in what you do, but at least you're learning something as you go. That deal might come through, but at the end of the day, once you still keep on working that plan, and you die, as I said, it's better die on the battlefield than on the sidelines.
Yeah. I think you can judge people as far as, by how many other people speak their name. How many other
Yeah.
people talk about your services and they reach out to you, they refer people to you. So I think that if you get to the point where you get a lot of business from your peers and from other clients,
Right.
then I think that speaks volumes to your service. And again, like Clinton was just hitting on, like who can make it through the rough times. There's always ups and downs in this business, but
Right.
are you going to be able to make it through without going part-time and having to get another job? And at the end of the day, nothing wrong with that, but you know what I mean? If you're the type of person that can make it through in any weather, that probably tells us, your level of experience in the business
Right.
you're in at the end of the day. So.
And I think a lot of times people are, I think Clinton, you hit on it, is people are afraid to follow their passion because they're afraid of what if I fail? What if
Right.
I don't make it? Or even the other part of it too is what will somebody else say about me?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
like this is totally different from what you normally do. Or even I heard people say, you shouldn't follow your passion in life because that doesn't always pay well. The thing you may be passionate about.
Right.
And I always say, listen, there's other ways you can make money. There's not just one way.
Right.
You can do what your passion, like for instance, if you believe in the education system for youth,
Right.
like, high schoolers or younger, you may say that's what I'm passionate about. They may not pay, high six figures or something like that, but you can learn to invest and do other things to make money.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Contact these two so you can learn how to get investment properties to buy real estate.
Right.
And that will lead you more to doing what you're doing, which even leads me to the question you also want to ask yourself: if money wasn't a problem, I had money flowing in, no problem, I could choose to do whatever I want, then what would I do? What would I do? Would I be a teacher? Would I be a pilot? Would I be, whatever it is that gives you that energy? Well, why wait till you have a lot of money to do that?
Right.
You could do that now.
Right.
Because you even hit it. When you do what you're passionate about, that's when your creative juices start coming in.
Right.
Yeah.
And you start figuring out a way. Well, if I can't do it this way, then maybe I could do it this way.
Right.
There's not just one way to skin a cat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I heard.
Somebody told you.
Somebody told me.
That's what I
And speaking of passion, one thing we wanted to shout out is Preferred Cremation and Burial. They've been giving impeccable service to the community and philanthropy for the past 25 years. And the only way they can do that for 25 years is through passion. So
Nice.
shout out in recognition to Preferred Cremation and Burial.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. Nice.
Shuts out.
So next thing I want to bring up when it comes to passion is it too late to follow your passion? I am 55 years old.
I knew it.
Black don't crack.
Right.
No, I think it's never too late to follow your passion. You know what I mean? Unless it's just something you physically can't do, then you can do about that. But you know what I mean? If it's something that you love and there's a means to be able to do it, then at the end of the day, it's up to you to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, have you ever heard someone say, I'm too old? They're passionate about buying a house. And they say, you know
Yeah, I've
what?
definitely
I'm
heard
too
that.
old to purchase a house.
Yep.
Right.
What do you say?
I say you're never too old to purchase a home because at the end of the day, especially if you have family or someone else that you can leave that wealth to,
Right.
then why not do it? You know what I mean? And who's to say when your time is going to be up? So you might be here for another 10, 20 plus years or
Right.
so. You know, there's no reason for you to not make today the day you start building wealth for
Right.
you or your
Right.
family and have something to leave for them. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
and then most of the time, well, every time they're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's see what, let's go from there.
You still got to pay to live somewhere, too.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You need a roof over your head no matter
Yeah.
how old you are. So,
Yeah, age is just a number.
Yeah.
No R. Kelly, but it's just a number. Gotta say that. Age is just a number. We know what we see going on out there, so we gotta make that clear.
crazy.
You have to put a disclaimer out there,
Disclaimer.
Just talking about following your passion, not to,
But at the same time, your belief systems decide your ceiling, right? I believe like what you think about yourself is going to determine the level of you can push yourself. Like there's no ceilings on age when it comes to you going after what you're passionate about. As Dion said, unless it's physically not in your wheelhouse. But at the same time too, because sometimes you gotta learn our limiting beliefs. I mean, at the same time, we see stories like Colonel Sanders. If you don't know the story about Colonel Sanders,
that's a good
right.
one.
So I mean, he was like what 55 or something like that or 60, around 55 or 60.
He was over 60.
Over
He had
60.
retired.
Yeah, exactly. Retired, and he was able to make a empire off of fried chicken at that age, right?
Right.
But he left a legacy behind, and that's the thing. It's like these simple things because he was passionate about fried chicken, right? Took it from us actually, but passionate about frying chicken. You know,
You over it today.
right. You know, so
I'll take that.
I know, right?
but at the same time, he was able to build an empire off of KFC, you know, and
finger
it's
looking
still
good.
going today. Finger looking good, yes. So I mean, one of the things that I also want to put out there is so I mean Romans 12:2 also says, and he be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
There you go.
And you may prove that what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. So, I mean, the will of God is going to be whatever he wants you to accomplish in your life, no matter what age. You know, in the Bible, we saw, I forgot the name of the lady who had she didn't believe she could have a baby, and she had it at the age of Sarah.
Yeah.
So as you can see, if it's not about age when it comes to your faith with God, it can be accomplished. Home ownership is one of those things that I think is it's very, very attainable, no matter what age you're at.
Absolutely.
You know, even when in death, you'll find that home ownership you pass it on. Just keep in mind, you'll pass on those assets to your heirs, right? So that's still you're leaving a legacy behind when it comes to home ownership. So it doesn't matter what age you attain it. It's just number one. The goal is making sure you can maintain and keep it and retain the value.
I'm glad you mentioned the scripture to this and talking about the Bible, because when we talk about passion, not everyone's going to have the same passion.
Right.
It has to come from somewhere,
Right.
which comes from God. God inputs those things that we're interested in and become passionate about. And it's almost like you're ignoring God's will for you, His purpose for you, if you don't follow the things that you're passionate
Absolutely.
about. And it's not to say that there will be things that you don't want to do that you still do have to do. We're not
Right.
saying that. Like, yeah, there's things out there that you do not want to do that you still have to do. But at the same time, you know, it still doesn't say, well, just because that happens doesn't mean you still can't follow the things that you're most interested about,
Right.
and passionate about.
Right.
Right.
You know, and a lot of times, you know, let's talk about the people that would discourage you from that. A lot of times, it'll be your own family and friends,
Absolutely.
the people that
That's definitely true.
True.
know you best.
True.
It's like, what, Clinton? I've never seen you fly no plane before. What makes you think you could be a pilot?
Exactly.
You know, you've been selling real
Exactly.
estate.
How you gonna
forever.
do that now? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna? You think you can see through a plane? And that's the thing. It's like you can see enough to. But I have 20/20 vision, sir. I ain't gonna fly with you. You gonna crash.
What do you think it was,
You know?
Denzel? From the movie Flight.
Oh man! But this
Well,
is
real quick, Dion said your favorite football team was the Jets.
Oh man! Yeah, right.
It had to be.
It had to be the Jets.
Jets, right? The Jets. His favorite group was the Jets too.
Jets too, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. I mean, one thing I would say is that people tend to project their limited beliefs on you. All right.
Right.
Yeah.
And you see that a lot in people close to you, even your family members, right? So, I mean, I would say, man, it's like, number one, if you have to separate yourself and make sure that you focus on what you need to do for your life, because nobody's going to, there's a saying that nobody's going to come save you, right? There's going to be a lot of people who are going to distract you and tell you no, right? But nobody's going to come save you. This is where you have to make the decision a lot of times if you want to go after your passion or not. And just stand on your beliefs and stand on your decisions, right? So, I mean, as I said, every day we wake up, we get closer to death. So the time we have, you don't want to waste it and end up at a point where you say, I wish I could, I wish I did, or I wish I would have. You know, always have it in mind. Always have it in mind. I've had the opportunity while here to actually go flying with a couple of pilots, and it's all because, you know, when the opportunity presents itself, I'm like, yeah, I'm raising my hand, yeah, I'm doing it, let's go, you know. But at the same time too, it's something where yes, I still have a desire for it, I still have a passion for it. I even see I've encouraged people, if they want to go after those things, go after it, you know.
I'll fly with you.
Thank you, William. Thank you.
I'm not gonna become a Jets fan.
Come fly away.
I'll never become a Jets
Come
fan.
fly away with me.
But I think too, you know, I think for a lot of people just kind of figure out what their passion is. You know what I mean? Like when you wake up in the morning, like what do you think about? Like what? As soon as you wake up in the morning, what's one of the first things that come to your mind all the time? Like is it what you gonna do today? If you
Right.
like singing, you know what I mean? If you like making money, however that is,
Right.
like what playing video games, whatever it is, like when you wake up in the morning, like what's one of the first things that come to your mind? If that
Right.
happens all the time, then that's probably something that you're very passionate about, and you should figure out how to get into that
Yeah.
one way or another.
Well-
I mean, it don't have to, like you said, don't have to be making money off of it. It's just something that makes you happy. Like for me, singing, you know, when I'm in the studio, that's my zen place. That's the place I go to. You know what I mean? Forget all the other how life is life. And when I'm in the studio, I don't think about none of that. I'm just being creative. And so
Right.
And
find that.
And I'm
Peace for
glad you
yourself.
mentioned that because I know you've been making music for a long time, and how you really started getting into it was based off doing real estate,
Yep.
something you was passionate about. How can I
Exactly.
turn what I do into a song? And then that turned into, you know what? I love doing this, and you keep,
Yep.
you know. Now he got hits. he got hit songs now that they play in Christian nightclubs.
You don't stop.
Christian nightclubs.
Y'all wild today.
But
Christian nightclubs.
But that's
Oh my God.
forgive me, Lord. But
You got one-way tickets. Huh?
yeah,
Night church, huh?
but the most important thing is it breathes life into what you do.
Yeah.
And you developed a friendship with someone just through the music piece that we all became friends with this person.
Yeah.
So you just, it just leads you to a path that you don't expect and ends up coming out better than you even thought about.
Yeah.
So when you follow your passion, you do it to the best of your ability. It's not gonna be perfect. It's not about doing it perfectly. It's just doing it without fear. Just as much as you and do it as much as you can in this moment. Because the reason why passion is so important is your internal compass of the clearest signal of who you are.
Yeah.
Again, passion is not about outcome. Your passion's job is not to guarantee money, fame, or security. It's just alignment. Do it because it feels right, not because of what you think it should produce.
Right. And there's a book I would recommend if you really want to understand how passion works. Is Good to Great by Jim Collins. He wrote that
Yes.
book years ago. It's a staple for most businesses, but what it's talking about basically is how your passion, you can use that passion, and how most of the companies that have survived turmoil, depressions, are still surviving today, is because they were started by passionate CEOs who didn't look at the money first. They looked at what they liked doing, and they went into the passion. So, and what came up was a theory, a concept called the hedgehog concept.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And what that basically says is what you are deeply passionate about. Is one of what you can do best in this world, be best in this world at,
Right.
and what drives your economic engine. So when they say drive your economic engine, it's not driving it towards money. It's that if the money was there, if it wasn't, would you still keep on doing it?
Right.
Right. And that's kind of how you figure out. Okay, well, number one, I'm going to go after. I'm going to drill down, and I'm going to be passionate about it, because you realize that even in the bad times, these companies have still stood the test of time. You're talking about companies like Coca-Cola, Pepsi. They've been around for multi-generations. So
That's that's an excellent book to read about
Yeah.
passion, because the goal of the Good to Great is talking about why some companies went from good to where they're at
Yeah.
to greatness
great companies, yeah,
for a sustainable period of time.
right,
And they compared it to other companies that they had in their field
Right.
that either stayed stagnant or went less.
yeah, right,
And so you mentioned the hedgehog concept, which is really about doing what you're passionate
Right.
about, but you're doing it based on realization,
right,
on what you could be the best in the world at.
yeah,
So you're just doing it because you're passionate
right,
about it.
yeah,
You're not getting into it, I'm gonna be the best at the world at this.
yeah,
And you come to the realization, I've been doing this for
ever,
so
right?
long. And that even leads to Malcolm Gladwell's the 10,000 hours rule.
Right,
I mean, to do 10,000 hours of
yeah,
anything,
yeah,
you have to be really
Passionate about it.
passionate about
Absolutely.
that.
Right.
Playing an instrument,
right,
Definitely.
whatever.
yeah,
And when 10,000 hours makes you world class.
right,
So imagine doing 10,000 hours and it's like you're the rarest of the rare at what
Right.
it is that you do, no
Right.
matter what it is. You may want to ask yourself, that is, man, what could I do for 10,000 hours?
right,
And be totally okay with it. Another thing I want to add too is about fear. We talked about fear for passion. Fear is just belief, not a stop sign. So, belief in something you don't prefer. That's what fear is. Instead of avoiding fear, act anyway and let the belief fall away.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all entered into things that we're fearful about, and then we get into it like, man, that was worse. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Gonna
Right.
be.
Yeah.
So,
Well, as they said, you miss 1,000% of the shots that you don't take. You know what I mean? If you
Right.
don't ever shoot your shot, you're never gonna know, for one, if you're gonna make it.
Yeah,
You're gonna be good
yeah.
at something. If you know what I mean, like you never know until you try. So
Right.
you have to at least take that shot. And like you said, even if you fail, you get to learn from that situation, and then make yourself better. You might come back and succeed the second time around, third time, fourth, whatever
Right,
it is.
right.
If you're passionate about it, you're gonna keep trying until you get it. That's how you know you're passionate.
I heard Tony Robbins say, "It's not failure; it's a result."
Yeah. And your failure brings the feedback.
You'll put
Yeah,
down-
it's just
put down the
feedback.
cup.
Right.
And then you,
gotta
oh,
put
this
down
is
the
how I
cup.
make it. This is how I make it better.
Right.
You know,
Like they said, Michael Jordan made like 529 game-winning shots in his life, right? And only made like 120. And we don't know that. Why? It's because they only talk about the ones that he made,
right?
Yeah.
right? So that's how what it looks like when you're passionate about something. You're gonna keep on taking those shots, as Dion said, but at the end of the day, all you need is one.
Yeah.
That's all you need is one.
could
You
change your
understand? That's all you need is one. You know.
It definitely change your life.
So that's why you have to be passionate about what you do, because all you need is that one opportunity to come by.
But just the type of person you'll be.
Right.
You'll be a better person for society when you follow your passion.
All right.
You'll be a better person for your family. Imagine your kids waking up every day, seeing you in
In the zone.
the zone,
Yeah.
doing something you're passionate about. I mean, you can tell them, follow what you're passionate about. When they see you
Exactly.
doing what you're passionate about, they're just going to follow in the same footsteps.
Yep.
You know, Warren Buffett, you know, he wouldn't give his kids an inheritance, which I'd be like, Dad, dude, you
Really?
$50 billion. You ain't giving me
Ridiculous for
nothing.
that one.
But he,
I don't know what that money looks like, so hey, you know, if he doesn't get good for him, you know what I'm saying?
but he's recommending his kids to just follow what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
You have to follow what you're passionate about, and you know, because he's seen like just throwing money at things
Right.
or money at people
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily make their lives better.
True.
What makes the people's lives better is doing what they're totally into what they do. Which I want to ask you guys, is maybe personal. So we talked about in the school system. Has anyone talked to you about follow what you're passionate about? Did anyone hear that from your own household growing up?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I mean, growing up now and compared to growing up back then, passion wasn't a topic of interest. I mean, I think it was more you got to get the education in order
Right.
for you to get to this level, and then you can decide what you want to do after that, right? I guess if you don't see those things, especially in your community and the opportunities, you don't see those opportunities. It's hard for you to say, okay, I want to be passionate about what I want to do. I think now more than ever, we as parents try to create environments where our kids now can go after their passions,
Right.
right? We still kind of like, okay, well, if you're not focused in school, right, you focus on what you're really good at. Right, and now I think a lot of people see and realizing the education system is built where it just regurgitates the same product over and over again, and the market is just saturated with people who have a ton of degrees but can't use it, right? But we're seeing that now more than ever, with coming AI, where you have artificial intelligence, where no longer is a degree going to determine whether you're smart. Right, it's you being able to use the smartest product in the world, which is AI, to actually push the lever and push yourself forward. Right, we're seeing that people are now realizing that AI doesn't have a passion. Right, the passion has to come through in what you do now in order for you to beat AI. Right, because now it's kind of like this in real estate. To give you an example, in real estate right now. There's people who can go on. You have some of the smartest consumers ever in real estate. Like when we talk to buyers and stuff, they know already where to find the houses, what they're looking for. They can go on AI right now and do a search and say, who is the agents in this specific area that fit my personality, who sells so many homes and gives so many and gets so many leverages and discounts for their buyers. And they can go and AI would do that research and spit it out for them and give them a list of maybe 10. Am I on that list? No, most likely not. You know what I'm saying? No. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
I'm on the list.
So, right? No cap. I'm not. But at the same time, it's how do I differentiate myself?
Right.
Right? How do I get myself out there with a different personality? Yes, I'm the real estate agent or broker who has the dreadlocks and makes all the videos, right? And talks about educates people about real estate. Um, and then on top of that, I've been in the business for a certain length of time. So for me, it's all about not just about regurgitating information. It's about building that relationship with my clients based on giving them information, right? So the personal touch that I know AI doesn't have, I can give, right? I'm not competing with those who are just spitting out numbers. You know, I'm competing with the people who are actually building relationships where I can get those referrals and actually move them from the start to the finish, which is either sell their home or either buy their home, right?
Right.
So, I'm pretty good at it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, my closing rate and success rate will speak for itself. But at the same time, I want to build a relationship, a long-term relationship with those clients, right? Because I know, number one, this is one of the biggest investments they ever made, right? There's going to be a lot of hesitation. There's going to be a lot of personal issues. I want to understand the type of language that they speak, why they're making this decision, what this decision is about. I mean, it's always a motivation for them of why they want to actually sacrifice so much to get into a home or why they are trying to sell a home, right? Because it's always a personal thing. It's a very personal thing. Either they move in for a new job, or they got divorced, or they have to downsize, retirement, all these things, come into play. So, that's something that AI can't do, right? So you have to be able to now differentiate yourself from, and when you say passion, you have to be passionate about what you do.
Yeah.
Now you're competing against the smartest element in the world right now, which is artificial intelligence, right? So there's no longer can you say, "Oh, I'm smarter than everybody else." I'm like, not really. We have AI, I mean, they're much faster than you. So.
Somebody said it creates reliance on artificial intelligence and replaces God-given creativity.
Amen.
Right.
AI is cool, but
absolutely.
it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And AI learns from humans.
Exactly.
And so a lot of times we know there's things AI can do because it's getting a bunch of input from humans.
Right.
But you got to think about how unique we are, because each person that's ever been created on this earth is uniquely gifted at whatever God put them on earth to
Right.
do.
Yes.
And that's why, again, I mentioned, your passion comes in from God. God gives you that. If you, like, for instance, we want to be able to do this radio show if someone wasn't passionate about creating
Right.
a platform for those who believe in God to listen to different views or different aspects of the Christian point of life,
Right.
and is strongly interested in Christian and gospel music. Imagine if that individual, who's one of the greatest people I know, gotta give shout outs. That's right, prefer the human touch.
Exactly.
But imagine if they didn't do what they were passionate about,
Right.
which will lead to us not doing something we became passionate
Right.
about, which is this show.
Right.
And so your passion gives reason for somebody else to do what they're passionate about.
Right.
I mean, we're here on earth to move it forward. God gave us life, and He gave it to us so we could live it more abundantly.
Right.
When you're not finding your passion, you're not living in your abundance.
Right.
You're
True.
living in a deficit. And who wants to live in a deficit?
Yeah.
So
Facts.
thank you. I agree.
But no, I think like you're saying too, when you're living in your passion, not only it leads to opportunities for other people living their passion too. So when you're doing what you're supposed to do, when you succeed at it, you then get yourself in a position where you can give other people the opportunity
Right.
to start
Right.
doing what they
Right.
are passionate about as well too. So that's why it's important to do what you do best.
I
What
mean,
you're good at.
the person who created NARAB,
Right.
78?
1947.
Yeah, 78
78
years
years
ago.
ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
They were fixing a problem that they saw as a problem. That
Right.
they became passionate. They were passionate about real estate, but wanted to solve a problem of helping black people become real estate professionals.
Right.
Which realtist came about. I said it right.
Good job.
you.
I'm proud of you.
But through that,
Learn.
that connected a whole association of people to be connected with other black real estate professionals around the world.
Right.
That you've all developed connections, relationships with people through that. We've connected just through that association.
Yeah.
That's how we all met, just being involved in that.
Yeah.
And it produces more than just helping people get into real estate. It produces connections, relationships,
Networks.
networks.
Yeah.
I mean, so I would abhor people today. Whatever it is in your mind that you really want to do, don't let fear get in your way. You have to follow what God called you on this earth to do. And a lot of times it may not turn out the way that you envision it. It could turn out better or it could turn out in a different direction, but you are on the right path. You think how many people are in their graves to this day that didn't follow their passion? And how
True.
different the world could be if they did. How much better the world could be if they did.
Right.
But it's up to us now to do that. And it's up to us to teach our children, the next generation, do what you're passionate about. Do what God laid on your heart to do. Because if you don't, then another thing too is if someone's not passionate, if you deal with a preacher and he ain't passionate about preaching the word of God, he just does it because he's good at speaking, but he's not passionate about it. Do you even trust him?
No. Sooner or later, you can tell if somebody's not being real. That's
If
for
you
sure.
deal with a
You
doctor,
can tell.
I go with that. No, I'm good.
But no, I want to kind of piggyback on something you said where, as far as in the household and teaching your kids too, because I think as a parent, you can see. You can see the type of things that your kids do and what they passionate about. Because my son used to always skateboard, and then they was like 10, 11 years old, making videos. They would had videos with editing credits and all kind of
Right.
stuff. I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, who taught you how to do this first and foremost?
Right.
But that told me that he was passionate about it. And not only that, but like he was skating, he would have on clothes, and so he was into fashion. Even that little young pup, he was trying to get all the designer stuff and this and that. So, and he's in fashion now at 26. He was about to be 26.
Nice.
So, you know what I mean? Still skates to this day. So you can tell when it's something that they're passionate about.
Right.
And I always told him, like, hey, if you're in fashion, do something. He went to college for fashion, right?
Right.
He goes skateboard all the time. So I always let him do what he wanted to do when I can clearly tell that it was in him. You
Right.
know what I mean? This is part of his DNA. He loves to do these things. So I'm going to let you shine and do what you want to do. Yeah, I pushed him to play sports, but he wanted to play sports too. But that's how my household was. You had to play sports. Sports or job. School, sports, or job. That's the only options you got. So,
Yeah.
but we happen to be passionate about all those things
Yeah.
anyway. So it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, as Dion say, man, like now we try to create that space because we realizing that the education system is not going to teach you about your passion or have you go after your passion. It's going to put you in a box where number one, you're going to have one thing which is knowledge. It's all knowledge based right now. So kids that have creativity, even kids who might be labeled as having some type of of having some type of learning disability, kids that just can't fit into that mold of learning, right? But these kids are actually sometimes very brilliant once put in the right environment.
there was this
Right.
kid I was helping a few months back, got into some trouble, school, and someone said, oh, they need a job, doing medical services. I was like, okay. So I'm talking to the kid. I said, what you passionate about? Man, I'm passionate about cutting hair. And he started showing me his whole body just lit up.
Right.
And he started showing me all these pictures. He said, I did a contest over the weekend. I'm in Arizona, and I won.
Go
and
to
this
barber
and that.
school.
I
Yeah.
said, why am I even here sitting here talking to you about a job? I said, this is what you
Right.
should be doing.
Right.
And he looked at me like, for real? I'm
I
like,
could do that.
Right.
I said, dude, I said, you know how much barbers are charging now?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I'm wearing this beanie.
I started to rethink my career. I said, wait a minute, I'm doing the wrong thing right now.
Right.
They living a good life right now.
No, but let's think about it like this. It's like you gotta even go further back in historically in life, before there was structured education, right? What drove people to build some of the structures that exist today? What
Right.
was that? What was that internal
To advance
drive?
civilization,
Right, to
exactly.
advance civilization.
To
When they
go
didn't
out
even-
and explore.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't even have the formal education that we had, right? So, I mean, one of the things is that, yeah, you had to have some form of passion, right? Where you risk it all. And I'm not saying go out there and risk it all, but they were risking it all. They didn't know what was on the other side. They had no idea what they
Yeah,
were
you
going to
don't know.
encounter. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but they went after it, and look, I mean, look what they were able to do. Some of them failed. We don't hear about the stories of people who failed.
You
That's
don't.
the thing, right?
Yeah.
But we always hear the stories of people who were successful.
Right.
They did, but the common thing of the ones who never who were successful is that they didn't give up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't give up. You know, they kept going. You know what I'm saying? Through the tribulations, the storms, the trials, the obstacles, they kept going. All right, and so they learned from their failures and got back up again.
So we got less than 2 minutes left. What's the one piece of advice that you guys want to give to our listeners about doing what you're passionate about?
Don't be afraid to try anything. Matter of fact, if you are going to be afraid to not try what you want to do. That's my best advice. Go for it.
What you got?
I'll say the simple thing you always hear is stop waiting. Nobody's coming to save you.
Right.
Right? Nobody's coming to save you. Just always remember that, because not making a decision is still making a decision. Right? If you decide that you don't want to do it, or you don't want to move forward, or you don't want to get up, or you don't want to make one step, they're making a decision not to do that. Because results come from action, not from feeling. So if you want results in what you do, you got to take some action. Doesn't matter where you end up. As I said, it's better to die in the battlefield than to die on the sidelines. So keep this. Remember, stop waiting. Nobody's coming to save you.
And I would say follow your highest passion, excitement to your fullest, and don't worry about the outcome, because whatever the outcome will be will put you in a better place than when you first began. That's
Absolutely.
what I'll have to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
So I want to thank our listeners for tuning in to another
Absolutely.
episode of
Thank you, guys.
Let's Talk About It. We hope you guys, next time we come back, Christmas has already been passed. So we pray everyone has a great holidays, great Christmas.
Amen.
Treat your family right, treat your friends right, and follow your passion. Until then, peace. We out of it. Let's
See you in
talk about it.
2026.
Thank you, guys.